Jhin is strong. Not like as a character. Definitely not as a character. No, Jhin is strong like physically. Some champions in League are holding stuff that's pretty heavy. Senna holds a massive gun, Aurelian Soul carries a black hole, and Callista holds the fate of League pro play. But Jhin beats all by holding his traps. There are other champions that hold a lot of traps like Shaco, Caitlyn, or Nidalee, but Jhin traps are different. Not only do they not have penises, but they also take up space, which means they have mass. And we can tell that because they fall, which means they accelerate, which means they're affected by gravity, which means if you use Jhin's traps, and only Jhin's traps, you'll find out they have mass because they displace bushes just a little bit. None of the other traps in this game are able to do this, which means they don't take space or have mass. The thing is, you can stack Jhin's traps. League is weird. Now that's enough about traps, let's talk about bears. Taric. Not a very crazy support, you know, he's got his heal, his shield, his stun, and the ability to summon a celestial object to make him and his friends invincible, all typical things you'll find in WeHo. But weirdly, none of those attributes are his most interesting. Lore-wise, he climbed the League of Legends equivalent to Mount Everest and got gem powers, and now protects the earth from bad guys and crew necks. But that's still not his most interesting attribute. If you've ever played Super Smash Bros. Melee, you'll know that the ice climbers can infinitely stun an enemy player with a very cold play called wobbling. Taric, also literally an ice climber, can also do this. Somehow, in the most competitive esport in the world, Taric is allowed to exist with a 100% uptime stun. This stun right here is infinite. League is— oh wait, sorry, hang on. Because I have to explain everything in my videos, otherwise I get a million comments telling me that I'm wrong. Like telling me to build Storm Surge in my full gold build video. It's gone, okay? They took out the golden mechanic. I need you to trust me implicitly. I don't know why I read your comments. Except this one. I like that comment. Now let me explain. Taric's E is an AoE stun that procs his passive, giving him 2 auto attacks with increased attack speed and an added bonus of flat cooldown reduction. So when he whacks someone with this weapon, I don't really know what this is, but when he hits someone with it after casting an ability, all of his other abilities get reduced cooldown. So if you combine this with Gwinsu's, you can proc that passive really quick because it grants extra auto attacks. Kind of. Then you get a Flicker Blade, which does the same thing as his passive, but on a percentage basis, combined with a Nashor's for attack speed and ability haste, then a Wit's End for attack speed, Frozen Heart for ability haste and mana, then an Archangel Staff for ability haste and mana. Then get these attack speed CDR runes, and you will have a low enough cooldown with a high enough attack speed to keep up this stun permanently. There's actually a bunch of variations of runes and items you can use to do this, but this works. I've been told that Nidalee requires the most button presses of any champion, but I think Taric Jungle could give her a run for her money, because this build doesn't do a lot of damage, so you'll have to take your E key and finger 11 times if you want to kill anyone. But it works, assuming you time your auto attacks and casting perfectly, and they have no tenacity, and they let you get fed enough to have all these items. I mean, I didn't say it was good, but it does work because League is weird. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want to talk about Malphite, the most boring champion in the game, literally a rock. His moves, throw rock, hit rock, slam rock, and charge rock, remind me of when I had sharp rocks in my bladder because of how painfully redundant this guy is. But he does have one cool mechanic. If you ult the wall as Malphite, then you'll find out you are an idiot. But if you ult the wall a little bit further, then you will go over it, but way faster. This mechanic actually isn't exclusive to Malphite, but in my self-flagellational journey of starting to read comments, I read what must have been a comment by Nikola Tesla because it was so brilliant, I had to at least talk about Malphite. AP Malphite video. Thought-provoking. This man wants a guide on the most straightforward character in the game. Well, I'm sure this little bit of knowledge about Malphite won't titillate your brain enough, so I made a full Malphite guide, and I put the link in the description. Anyway, you can do this mechanic with anyone that has a dash that's also a skill shot. The idea is that the game tries to put you in the wall, but when it realizes your ECB or environmental collision box is inside the environment, it kicks you out as quick as it can. You can see this in real time on Kayn when his E ends. This is because League is Jack's fishing. See, I told you we'd use it again. You know, I was meant to have a sponsor for this video, but I didn't want to do a typical ad read, so I tried making a commercial. It was terrible. I know nothing about making commercials, but the advertiser liked it, so here's a really terrible commercial. And if you know anything about making commercials, please DM me. I'd love to be not shitty at it.
Is that Murray ready to go?
Yeah, one sec.
All right, cool.
That's it. All right.
Hey, what's that?
What?
That. Look at that.
What? Oh yeah, it's the hooked up my GameCube, the PC.
No, not that. The chair.
What about the chair?
Dude, this is the worst thing I've ever laid eyes on. It's hard as a rock.
That's fine. That's part of the experience.
Dude, sitting isn't supposed to be an experience.
It's fine.
Hold on. All right, hold on. All right. Now this is the Flexispot C7 Max Ergonomic Chair with fully adjustable appendages.
What are you getting paid for this?
I'm not.
Dude, just give it a little sit.
I'm not sitting on that.
Dude, it's comfortable.
That's terrible.
Just one for me.
If I sit on it, will you shut up?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
You're gonna love
Just
it.
once.
Just once.
For you.
Thank you.
Because I love you.
Thank you. It's great. See? Yeah?
Alright, time for a pop quiz on ECBs. At this rate, what's going to happen with Nautilus's Q? Is it A, it hits, B, it misses, or C, you're alt-tabbed right now and you're just listening to this video so you can't play along? Vote on your phones at home because here's the answer. You all fail. Now, without any tricks, does this hook hit? Well, the answer may not surprise you because the way I'm posturing the question, obviously it doesn't hit, but why? It clearly is touching Brand's no-no square. Well, the reason is a champion's ECB or hurt box is not at all linked to their model. So to recreate this shot here, you just need to play a champion that has an emote that moves their character model like Brand in his dance. And there are many other champions whose emotes seemingly displace them pretty far. Gwen probably has the funniest model change in any emote by becoming a doll for a few seconds. If you play Shaco, you can go cave diving in holes across the rift. But if I'm not wrong, Jarvan has the most egregious one. This is what his dance cycle looks like out in the open. And this is what his dance cycle looks like facing a wall. And this is what it looks like for other champs on the map. Boo! Happy Halloween, everyone. So now you know, as long as you aim at their body below the health bar, you'll hit them every time. Wait, what? Why didn't this one hit? It was right on him. Was this? Oh, third dimension. Was that you? Even though this is a top-down game like Command & Conquer Generals or City of Tempest, it isn't a 2D game. When playing, you are always thinking about where everything is on the map on an X and Y axis. But League actually has a Z axis, and it matters a lot. It's why this hook hit and this one didn't. There are different elevations on Summoner's Rift, and it takes years of practice to know exactly where they all are and memorize this map on a 3D level. It's something really only the pros bother with. But if you want to try it, here's a map of every elevation change on Summoner's Rift and how much the elevation changes in those areas. Yeah, it's just the rivers. Everything outside of the river is slightly raised, making it so Nidalee looks like she's about to pull off a 1,000-foot clutch, but actually they just dodge slightly. It's not so bad though. The game does try to tell you this by where your cursor is. If you're flat on the ground, your skill shot outline will follow your cursor perfectly. But if you're in the river aiming on the high ground, then your cursor will be above the outline. And if you reverse the positioning, then your cursor will be below the outline. This arguably makes it more confusing, but just put your cursor on the guy and it will probably hit. Other than that, the hitboxes in this game work perfectly fine. Sometimes. Because let's say it all on 3, League is peculiar. Idiot, get baited. I'm not much a support player, but I tell you what, it is like just being a butt slut. That's what it's like. Not that I know what that's like, but it's like that.
What is that? What
Butt
does that
slut?
mean?
Well, a butt slut, if you don't know, it's, do you know what a slut is?
Yes.
You know what your butt is?
Yes.
I want you to put it together.